Gone are the days Canadian road trippers couldn't wait to cross the border and hit these iconic US restaurants. But in 2025, many of those plates are going cold, not because the food's cooled down, but because Canada's lost its appetite for them. From $25 burgers to reheated pasta, these chains aren't just losing customers, they're losing trust. Let's count down the 10 US restaurants Canadians are abandoning, and the surprising reasons why. 1. Chick-fil-A. From curiosity to controversy. At first, spotting a Chick-fil-A on a US trip was a novelty for Canadians. People would line up just to try the famous chicken sandwich. But curiosity quickly turned to controversy. While the food still has fans, the brand's reputation has taken a hit, especially in Canada, where inclusivity isn't just marketing, it's expected. Chick-fil-A's political donations to anti-LGBTQ causes made headlines, and while some US customers moved on, many Canadians didn't. A 2024 survey found a 38% drop in intended visits to Chick-fil-A by Canadian travelers. Food forums and travel groups are filled with people saying they now skip it, even when hungry. Add to that combo meals topping $15 in many locations, and the appeal is fading fast. Meanwhile, Canadian-friendly competitors like A&W and Mary Brown's are gaining ground, offering ethical sourcing, eco-friendly packaging, and fewer PR disasters. Chick-fil-A tried expanding into Canada and failed. Now they're even losing the Canadians who visit the US. 2. Five Guys, too greasy, too pricey. The brown paper bag is iconic, but the grease soaking through it, not so much. For years, Canadians crossing the border saw Five Guys as a treat: oversized burgers, mountains of fries, and a casual no-frills vibe. But in 2025, things changed. Prices skyrocketed, the experience felt stale, and Canadians stopped craving it. A single meal for one now easily tops $25 without a milkshake. For travelers used to fresh, affordable food, that feels like robbery. The turning point came when Canadian influencers started including Five Guys receipts in their overpriced fails videos. One viral clip compared a $19 Five Guys burger to a $13 locally sourced Toronto burger, and Toronto won, hands down. Fans also say the food quality is slipping. Smaller patties, saltier fries, inconsistent service. Back home, gourmet burger spots like Burgers Priest and Hero Certified are thriving with fresher ingredients, better prices, and no post-meal regret. It used to be a joke. When you're here, you're family. But now, for many Canadians, Olive Garden feels like the relative you avoid. The fake Italian charm and endless salad, well, they've kind of lost their appeal. Instead, diners find reheated sauces, mushy pasta, and frozen chicken, all drowning in butter and sodium. While Canadian restaurants embraced authentic, fresh Italian cooking, Olive Garden stuck with its dated formula. In 2024, Canadian visits to Olive Garden in the US dropped 26%. Reviews on TripAdvisor and Reddit call it out of touch and one step above a microwave dinner. Canadian Italian spots from Ottawa to Vancouver are booming, offering handmade pasta, fresh herbs, and real olive oil. Compared to that, Olive Garden now feels like tourist bait. You pull off the highway, stomach rumbling, looking for a familiar breakfast spot, but in more and more American towns, you'll notice something's missing. Canadian license plates outside IHOP. Once, that bright blue sign meant warm comfort food and fluffy pancakes. Now, for many Canadians, it's a stop to skip. For years, IHOP marketed itself as a friendly, affordable breakfast option for cross-border travelers. But as expectations for fresh, healthy food rose, IHOP stayed the same. Complaints have piled up. The syrup is corn syrup, the fruit is canned, and all-day breakfast often comes with limp bacon and stale eggs. And the big portions? They leave people feeling stuffed in the worst way. In 2024 alone, Canadian tourism blogs and food reviewers published over 50 critical takes on IHOP locations in Washington, Michigan, and New York. A Montreal couple even went viral on TikTok, comparing a $17 Canadian brunch to a $26 IHOP meal. The IHOP plate looked like a greasy cafeteria tray. It's not just looks. IHOP's heavy use of processed ingredients clashes with Canada's growing demand for locally sourced, clean-label food. More travelers are heading to indie brunch cafes and boutique diners with fresher menus, especially in border cities like Buffalo, Spokane, and Detroit. IHOP still calls itself international, but for many Canadians, it's no longer living up to the name. 5 Subway Fresh? Not anymore. You walk in expecting a quick, crisp sandwich and leave wondering what you actually just ate. For Canadians, Subway has gone from a road trip staple to a brand many now avoid in the US. What killed the appetite? Bread with a rubbery bite, limp lettuce, and meats that barely resemble anything from nature. The slogan might still say "Eat fresh," but Canadians aren't buying it, literally or figuratively. Industry insiders report a staggering 42% drop in Canadian spending at US Subway franchises. Much of the damage came after exposés revealed questionable meat sourcing and sky-high sodium levels. But the real nail in the coffin was contrast. In Canada, Subway quietly upgraded its ingredients and presentation. In the US, many locations cut corners, shrank portions, and even failed health inspections in multiple states during 2024. One viral moment came when a Calgary student posted a side-by-side photo of her tuna sandwich from Alberta versus one from Detroit. The difference was laughable, and the post racked up over 200,000 likes. Canadians now call US Subway the fast food catfish. Looks fine on the board, but you never know what's in the bag. Once the go-to for travelers in a hurry, Subway is now buried under bad press and worse sandwiches. TGI Fridays, stale cheers, empty booths. You walk in hoping for that signature lively atmosphere and hearty American fare, but instead you get an aging menu and a vibe that feels stuck decades back. TGI Fridays, once the spot for casual dinners and weekend celebrations, has fallen out of favor with Canadians. The menu, unchanged in years, is full of greasy burgers, salty apps, and frozen sides that taste as tired as the decor. As Canadians have shifted toward fresher, healthier, and more ethically sourced food, Fridays stayed locked to its old playbook while competitors embraced modern dining, offering local ingredients and meals built around real flavor. The result? Canadian tourists are skipping it, choosing restaurants with better food and livelier atmospheres. Nostalgia alone can't fill empty booths. Panda Express. Fast food meets flavor fatigue. It hits your tongue like a sugar bomb dressed up as stir-fry. Once a novelty for road trips, Panda Express is now the poster child for everything wrong with mall food. Canadian travelers used to tolerate the sticky orange chicken and reheated lo mein, not anymore. In an age of authentic street eats, Panda feels artificial, dated, and overpriced. Food analytics from early 2025 show a 41% drop in Canadian spending at US Panda locations, especially in border malls and highway rest stops. Steam trays sit too long, noodles clump, veggies drown in syrupy sauces. One Vancouver couple even documented their I-5 Panda stop with a viral video titled "Canada Deserves Better Stir-Fry," sparking a flood of never-again stories. Meanwhile, Canadian fusion spots are booming with real wok flavor, fresh ginger, and bold spices. No sugar crash included. Once known as your neighborhood bar and grill, Applebee's now feels like an abandoned block. The menu hasn't changed in years. The decor is stuck in 2008, and the food tastes like it came from a motel microwave. Canadians once stopped in after road trips or shopping sprees. Now they avoid it, citing rising prices, slow service, and uninspired food. A viral TikTok in early 2025 showed Toronto teens leaving mid-meal after waiting 30 minutes for frozen boneless wings. One joked, "We could have eaten better at a gas station." The line stuck, and so did the sentiment. Once a roadside comfort, Denny's now feels like a discount version of itself. Burnt toast, dry pancakes, mystery sausage, and chipped syrup containers. Canadian surveys in 2025 showed a 41% drop in planned Denny's visits. A Vancouver couple shared their $39 late-night Grand Slam stop. Both plates arrived cold, and their never-again review was shared over 80,000 times. Canada's diner scene, meanwhile, is thriving. Clean, modern, affordable, and full of flavor. What used to be rustic charm now feels like a gimmick. Canadians aren't overlooking the outdated decor, heavy processed menu, and lack of freshness. A Montreal vlog team's trip to an Albany Cracker Barrel turned into a cringe fest: cold cornbread, stale mac and cheese, and glue-like gravy. Their video title said it all: Canada deserves better. Spending by Canadians at Cracker Barrel dropped 30% in 2024. Travelers want modern, fresh, and inclusive dining, not biscuits that taste like cardboard. If you did enjoy this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments.